All right, so a little bit about me. I am a full-time mom located in Louisville, and until my daughter was born, I had a career in the nonprofit sector as an informal educator, as a volunteer manager, and lastly as a website coordinator, which is when I signed up for Code U. I have a bachelor in studio art, so I love design and the flow of things and the way colors speak to people. And I love art, music, cooking, cats, all sorts of things. And my goal in life is to simplify things for others. Everything I've done, it kind of boils down to that. And I really wanted to embody that in this project. I chose Code U because I knew several people personally who were involved with the program in one way or another, and they had nothing but amazing things to say about it. And the more I learned about it, the more I saw what an invaluable resource it was to expand my personal and professional development and feed my love of lifelong learning. And it lived up to all of those things. My project Skill It Up, like I said, it is a recipe website. What I found with a lot of other recipe websites is they can be clunky, hard to follow. They're not always beginner friendly, and there can be a lot of steps that you have to go back and see, like, did I do this? Did I not do that? I really wanted to simplify that. So my project focused on having a very clean design with a recipe at the top of the page. It has tips and tricks that the community can submit, and I added checkboxes to be able to follow along when you're collecting ingredients and following the steps. With my project, I wanted it to appear best on mobile first. So mobile first design, I wanted it to have consistent branding and layout throughout the whole website so you always felt like you were in the same place. On the back end side of things, I created a server with Node.js and Express.js and built a custom API that allows users to add recipes. And those go into a JSON file that then get parsed out onto different pages and auto formatted. And then for user experience, I wanted it to be very easy to get around. I wanted each page to go straight to the recipe. And the recipes themselves, I wanted them to be very simple. So if someone is learning how to cook, they're really, really hard to mess up. So this is the home page of my website. I have it set up to have 3 random recipes generate at the top and 2 random tips. It's also fully responsive, including with the hamburger menu at the top and then the layout of the recipes on the page as well. And that's throughout the entire website. The recipes page has all the recipes that are input currently. And whenever you click on one, it brings you into the recipe. All of this has been parsed out from the JSON file. You can click through and mark off as you're cooking and following along. If there are any notes attached to it, those appear here as well as 2 random tips. If you want to just look through and see what the community has to offer, you can go to the tips and tricks page and you can search keywords. This searches specifically for that combination of letters. So if you see you search for egg, it pulled up veggies. That's something I'd want to address in the future, but for now, you're able to search through something you're wanting to learn about. This is the add a recipe page. I typed in all of the things for peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just short, sweet, and simple. That has been added to the list of recipes. And when you go in, you can see it's all been fully parsed out and laid out automatically on its recipe page. So I did run into challenges as you do with any web development project. A lot of the tutorials and guides that I found were not designed for mobile first. So there was a lot of reverse engineering that I had to do. The biggest one that stuck out was the hamburger menu. That was a challenge, just having to repiece that code together. I also struggled to keep my CSS file clean. I actually redid the whole thing because it was getting clunky and cascading all wrong. So dry coding is very important. The data population on the pages, figuring out how to get it to parse out based on when the user hit the enter key so that each one was on its own line was a little bit of a hiccup that I had there. And then the searching tips, I was overthinking how to search through the content and having it toggle on and off rather than just be visible or not visible. And so after I stepped away, which is the challenge is, that really, really helped. So this project taught me when it comes to challenges, take a breath. There's a solution. It helps to rubber duck it or pseudocode out what you're trying to do. And that solved about 80% of my problems. I realized I skipped a step And then I would know what to Google, and I've learned along the way what resources to go to whenever trying to solve issues. And if that didn't work, sleeping on it, or something this project really hammered home is use your resources and ask for guidance. There's so many communities out there that are excited to help with projects, and using that is important. And it reinforced some things about myself. I am a learner. I am a problem solver. I am nitpicky, as evidenced by my CSS file. And I can now say I am a programmer, having completed this program. If you'd like to contact me, my information is on the screen. And I'd like to thank you all so much for taking time to learn about my project today.
Great job, Amanda, and great application too. I really like that project.
Thank you.
We do want to know a little bit more. How have you been able to juggle being a new mother with learning about web development and creating this capstone project?
Creatively. There were a lot of very creative contact naps with baby on me and the laptop over here on the side doing projects. And when I couldn't work on that, just absorbing as much content as I could on YouTube about web design was really helpful. But having something to put my brain to that wasn't baby related was amazing, and the late nights were all worth it for that.